Okay, just 2 more boxes to go along with the main box. So the next one we'll work on is the 4x3 box. You'll need 2 pieces cut at 7x8. You want to cut the bottom slightly smaller or either the top slightly larger, depending how you want your lid to close. I do my bottom slightly under because that's what has been working. I think I've made about 4 or 5 of these so far, and doing that makes it to where it's snug enough to fit but not necessarily bending the bottom box. So measurement for the top is 7x8 and the bottom is slightly smaller, maybe a little bit between where the 1/16 mark is. It's between those 2 numbers. So I'll start by scoring the bottom. You want to score at 2 inches all the way around on both pieces. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is fold on all your score lines. I'll work with my top first. I'll cut up my tabs, and I've been cutting these on this shorter side. Then you put glue on your tabs. Again, I'll be using the Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. So that's my top. Here's my bottom, put together the same way. So here's my top and here's the bottom. I did cut the bottom at 6 15/16 and 7 15/16. I have this ruler right here that gives me those measurements because this paper is a little thicker. So if you are using thicker paper, you might want to cut the bottom a little smaller, and it's still really snug, but it does fit right in there. And I like the tighter fit because I didn't mat the bottom of this box. I only matted the bottom here. I didn't mat the sides, but I did mat all of the sides of the top piece. And then I used my 1-inch circle punch to put little tabs here to open it up after I matted the box. So this is the 4x3 little box. So for the 2x4 box, there's 2 different ways you can do it. The one that I show and the one that I have in my boxes has this little flip top here, and I use my 1-inch circle punch to put a little tab. But you can also do it like this, just a regular box, and put the tabs on the bottom. If you're going to do this way, just don't cut off this bottom tab to make the little attachment here like I'm going to show in this tutorial. So to create this box, you'll need 2 pieces of cardstock at 6x8. The bottom is cut slightly smaller at 5 15/16 and 7 15/16, so it will slide open and close. So I'll start on the top piece. Again, we're going to score 2 inches around all sides on both pieces. And the reason why everything is scored at 2 inches is because the larger box is scored at 2 inches and I wanted everything to be level. So this is the top piece. You want to fold on all your score lines. And this is again going to go together like a standard size box. Other than the top, if you want that little tab, all you do is cut this center piece off. Or actually you cut the whole bottom off. You cut the 2 sides off, and then you make the center piece to look like a little flap for a tab to connect it to the bottom. So I'm going to cut up on the shorter end to make this box. Okay, so this this was supposed to be in the top. Oh, that I cut this piece off of. So I can salvage this because it was supposed to be like a flip top. Okay, so if you make this mistake, just and I'm not going to edit this out because I don't want to have to do this again. So you're going to cut up this back piece like so. I'll trim this down to make it a little neater, and this is going to be matted, so I'm not really worried about. Okay. And then it'll flip up like that, so you want to make a little tab out of this. So all I did was do that. So if you make that same mistake, it's an easy fix. Just make this into a tab. All right, on with the show. Let's do the bottom, and that will go together like a regular box. This is the top, this is the bottom, this will be the tab that holds that on there. So the thing that I did was just put this on and then just glue this to the back. What I did was took a piece of double-sided tape and put it along that score line and just put it on there. And then I did my tab using my 1-inch circle punch. I'll have to go back and clean that up, but this will be matted, so I wouldn't worry about any mistakes on these little side tabs. Use some liquid adhesive as well. If you're not really good at lining up, just put the top on there as snug as it's going to go, and then push that back. And this will all be matted over. So this is the 2x4 box. Okay, so for the outer box, I'm going to use some of this Cricut 12x12 craft board. If you can't find any really good 12x12 110-pound cardstock, this is comparable to about 100 pounds. This sampler pack comes in black, brown, and white. Really heavyweight. You can find this at Michael's and also at Joann's. I think it runs about $15, and of course you can't use a coupon, but there are, I want to say there's 30 sheets in here, so there's 10 of each, which is a really good deal if you know you really need the heavyweight cardstock in the 12x12. Again, this is called the Cricut Craft Board Sampler, and I have one cut at 12x12, one cut at 11 and 15/16. So the smaller one will be for the bottom, and I will score all the way around at 2 1/4. And this will go together just like a standard size box. If you want to get fancy and put a circle in the top like Miss Carol did for her candy box, and you have a larger die cutter, that will be really pretty for like Christmas or like a really cute gift. That way you can see the colors of the boxes through the front panel. Since this is a handmade project, I didn't do that on any of these. Okay, so that's all 4 sides of that one. That's the bottom. I did write bottom on there because I will mat the insides as well as all the sides, and then we'll do this top part. Hey y'all, okay, I'm not sure where I'm going to insert this into the tutorial, but I was looking through my notes and realized that the top for this larger box should be a 12 by 12 and scored at 2 1/8 all the way around. The other one was a little too tight. When I started to mat this one, I was thinking something was wrong and didn't realize that the score should have been a 2 1/8, and I think I actually said that in the tutorial. But this was an old top that I had made for a Christmas one that I was working on, and the bottom was going to be something else, but I just flipped it around, and I'll just do a double seam on this. So again, the bottom is a 12 by 12 scored at 2 1/4, and the top is a 12 by 12 scored at 2 1/8. So we're going to cut up the sides, make a tab, and put this together just like a square box. Do the same thing on both sides, and then put adhesive on your tabs and put the box together. Okay, so here is the bottom of the box. The way I have them in there is the 4 by 5 slider box in the top right, the 3 by 3 in the top left hand corner, the 2 by 4 in the bottom right, and then the 4 by 3 box is in the bottom left. Now, whether you switch the size or whatever, they're all going to equal the same, and you do have a little bit of space in there if you want to kind of change them around. I don't know how much you can change them around, but here is my top. Fits on there really snug. This one is a little snugger than the other ones that I created. I think it may be because I did use a thicker cardstock on this one, but as you can see, it fits on there really well. If you have any questions, please leave them down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I will link Miss Carol's channel as well as Poodle Paper Crafts tutorial down below. Please go by and check out all the other ladies to see what they created, and also be sure to join us next month on the last Wednesday of the month as we post another Hump Day Handmade at 10 Eastern Standard Time. I will also link my playlist of the other handmade projects that I created, and maybe you want to check those out. Thank y'all so much for watching. Stay safe and have a great day. Bye.